Hi, Heather here. I'm actually going to start a new series, I guess I should say, on how to grow your own garden. I mean, I'm know a little bit about gardening. It's in my blood. My no is an avid gardener. I think that this is a great opportunity to kind of teach people how to do it themselves, especially in this climate. So basically what I've done is I've already kind of started my seedlings here. So I've done tomatoes, cucumbers, broccoli, spinach, celery, and zucchini. So this is pretty simple. I skipped this step, I didn't videotape it, but all you really need to do is get 2 paper towels, wet them, put them in a nice container that, it can be sealed, and then you want to keep them in the sun, and you want to just lightly spritz them with a little spritzer, right? You just want to spritz like that. So what you'll have here is you'll actually have, now this is actually 3 days. Oh, my zucchini seeds just fell. But what you'll see is, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that there. It's not really good camera, but there's a little bit of a sprout going on there. My broccoli is sprouted. So now this step, oh, I dropped a little spinach seed. The next step I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna transfer these into little pots. So for now, we're gonna do some reusable things. The first thing I have is this chicken container. So you get it from the store. It's great because it already has holes in it so that it lets the air flow through, but it also makes a great container so it seals the heat and moisture. So make sure that you poke some holes in it, if you can see there, so that the water does drain. I've got my bowl of lovely dirt here. This is just Miracle-Gro. Any nutrient-rich dirt will do, especially if you have a compost. That's really great. I'm just going to start out with this today. So I'm just going to fill my... So depending on the growing season, where you live and things like that is when you would grow your seeds. A lot of seeds, you can grow them inside first and then you can plant them. Usually you want to plant them after the last frost, and then usually after a full... I'm gonna wait until May to plant all my plants. So I'm gonna let them sprout, I'm gonna keep them warm, keep them moist, and then after that full moon in May, we're gonna plant them in the garden. So I'm gonna show you the garden later. It's a little rainy and snowy right now, so we're gonna wait for it to be a little nicer. You can get any seed packets anywhere, and they actually tell you when to plant it, your width, and things like that. Another thing you wanna keep in mind is some plants grow best with other plants. So for example, tomatoes grow really well with carrots and basil. So you want to plant your carrots and basils together with your tomatoes to really get that nice plant and nice tasting tomatoes. There's other plants too that grow well together. There's also a really cool app that I found that actually gives you, you can map out where you put all your vegetables for your season, and it'll tell you which ones grow best together and which ones don't, because it's really important. Because for example, last year I grew tomatoes and there was a squash plant right next to it. I battled with that squash plant every day because it was always climbing and grabbing onto those tomatoes and kind of killing my tomatoes. So that was a mistake I made last year. This year, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it with the carrots and with the basil, so hopefully we have some really great tomatoes. I did have good tomatoes last year, so don't let that discourage you. So yeah, and thanks for listening. I hope that you enjoy Heather's garden. We just keep that in the sun. They need a lot of sunlight. They need to be watered daily. I recommend, if you don't have a lot of sunlight, if it's cold where you are, is just get a little grow light. I got this on Amazon. I think it was like 20 bucks. Very easy. You can adjust it to hold it high, or it actually stands on the ground like this. So it's a really good investment, especially if you want to start your own garden. So we'll put that aside. Next, we're going to work on possibly some cucumbers and, some spinach. So I've got an egg carton, which is great. Again, we're just reusing everything. We don't have to go out and buy anything. So we're just going to fill it all up with dirt. Okay. And I mean, I didn't have any popsicle sticks, so if you want to use some popsicle sticks to kind of label everything, but I'm trying to keep everything in the same area so I know. So I know these are all going to be cucumber, and I know those two are going to be broccoli and celery. So just a little bit of dirt here, right here. That's good. So once these start growing bigger too, you might want to transfer these to bigger pots, which I'm going to show you. I've got a tray here that my mom actually has grown, and I'm going to move some of these to bigger pots. But for now, we're going to start step by step. Okay, now I've got my sprouted seeds. So I've already made my sprouted seeds. Those are going to be for when I plant in the garden. These ones as well, these have already sprouted from seeds. They're getting kind of big, so I want to move them into a bigger pot. These guys here, these are my zucchini. So I have a lot of zucchini. It's very popular here. So I'm just going to take my little dirt container, again, filling it up. Okay. I'm filling up my dirt container. And then I'm going to move a plant. These are great because these are dissolvable too. You don't really need to take them out. And then I'm just going to put them right in here. Okay, and then I'm going to fill it up with dirt. Let's pack it down. And perfect. And again, we're going to give it a little spray. Don't need a lot of water, just a little bit. That's why a spray bottle is really good. So that's one. Then we're going to do a tomato. So these tomatoes are great. These tomatoes are actually, so when my Nono first came here to Canada from Italy, he brought his own tomatoes and he brought his own tomato seeds and he germinated them every year. In fact, they are probably the only seeds that are not GMO or genetically modified, whatever you want to call them, or, you know, these are passed down from family generation to generation now. So I'm excited to plant these and see what we have. These seeds haven't been grown. They've been sitting in a freezer for about 20 years. So I'm really impressed of how good these have grown so far. Sorry, I'm a little stuck here. As you can see, they've kind of all attached. So they're really nice. They're going to be nice and thick. They're the big heirloom tomatoes, so they're gorgeous. They're going to be delicious for tomato sandwiches. They're not so good for sauces. You want a little bit of a smaller tomato, but they're a good start. Hi, I'm back again. So this time I'm going to be planting some strawberries. I picked up this kit at the dollar store. I think it was like $3. So easy to grow strawberries. I guess it's pretty straightforward. So it comes with this little puck that you are supposed to soak in another container with 2.5 cups of lukewarm water. So I'm going to put this puck in here, get it nice and absorbed. Now, it says that you should leave it overnight, but I think we'll be able to do this right now. So I'm going to start to break up the puck. Okay, I'm back. The strawberry mix actually did not take 24 hours. It took about 2 minutes. So it's completely been absorbed, that little puck that we got with that kit. So now what you're going to do is you're going to fill up the pot they gave you with 95% premium dirt. So the nice Miracle Grow is great. Then you're going to take your little seed pack and you're going to open your seeds. And I think, so you're just going to, okay. Okay, so we're just going to evenly spread these seeds out. I thought I had another direction here. Okay, come on, come on. Okay. Take out these little strawberry seeds. Oh my gosh, they're literally like seeds that you would see on a strawberry. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to evenly distribute them as best as I can. It's hard to maneuver these little guys. So you know what's cool about seeds, strawberry seeds, is that they actually regrow every year. So once the growing season's done and they're all done harvesting, they'll come back next year. So you don't really have to do this a lot. So we're going to grow first indoors and then we're going to move the plant outside. We got to wait for the last frost. So we're just going to put a little bit of this stuff on top. So this is to protect the seeds so they grow healthy, and just cover that. You don't need a lot, but enough to cover it up. Okay. And that's it. And there you go. And you just have to make sure you get lots of sun, keep them warm, and then don't plant them until the last frost. So usually wait about till the end of May, even early June if you want to, okay? And don't feel discouraged about your strawberry plants not germinating. It says they take about 5 weeks to germinate to see any results. So I just maybe put a little bit too much of this stuff on here. So I'm just kind of trimming it down a bit so that the seeds are able to get enough sunlight so that they can grow. So just make sure that they're, nicely even there. You want to water daily again with your spray bottle. Keep in the sun, and you want to rotate it in the sun so that it gets evenly distributed, okay? And hopefully you'll have some nice fresh strawberries for this whole summer. Okay, we're gonna do a little veggie update here. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of sprouting going. My peppers finally sprouted. These green beans, look how tall they're getting. So close to ready to go in the garden. Still a little cold today. Our zucchini, this guy kind of wilted a bit, but we're gonna bring him back to life. My thyme is growing. I got some more tomatoes. So I actually am growing a few different ones. So we got a tomatillo, we've got a purple grape, and then we've got the Roma tomatoes. My celery, it's kind of still there, but I don't know if it's gonna make it. I'm sad. And then my greens, my variety of greens, they're doing okay. We're gonna take a look at our arugula. So it's growing. Arugula is growing. It's going to take a while. The patience is a virtue. We've got, this was my little basil contraption. Look at that. That basil's coming in nicely. I've got my little makeshift greenhouse. What else have we got here that you can see? Oh, look at the peas. Look at that. Look at that. And then next we're going to my romaine. The romaine is just not doing too well. So what I've decided to do is I've cut a piece of old romaine and I've put it in a glass here. So I'm going to try to grow it this way. This might be the best option. We'll see how that turns out. As you can see, I've got lots of tomatoes that are they're just getting huge. They're great. They're getting great. And these are my cucumbers. Oh, we got the basil in the way here. These are my cucumbers. Check out that zucchini. Look how big that's getting. It's so nice. And I've got more tomatoes here. I'm going to transplant them into another pot. I just ran out of space, so I decided to put them all together. Now, let's take a look at our watermelon seed. Hang on, just grabbing it. Look at that. Look at that watermelon. Look at it. We're gonna have a juicy watermelon, hopefully, this season. What else? What else do I need to show you? I mean, everything's just growing great. Everything is looking great. Here are my green, this is my carrots. These are my green onions. My beet is still growing there. It's a little moldy. Unfortunately, I might just have to plant those in the garden directly. These are my radishes. Okay, my parsley is growing. Now, my broccoli, it didn't do too well. It looks sad. Neither did my spinach. So for next time, I'm just going to plant them directly in the garden because they don't mind cold. Now, my Swiss chard, same thing. It's coming through, but we actually just planted it directly into the garden this time. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, he's a sad little guy there. And let's see how the chicory is doing. Well, not much going on there, so nothing to report.